My name is Richard Powell, and I'm the UK Sales Director for Aston Microphones. And I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our Stealth microphone. So the inspiration for Stealth came from looking at some of the classic studio dynamic mics that have been used over the last few years. Microphones such as the Electro Voice RE20 and the Shure SM7B. We wanted to take those kind of products and move it several steps further to offer something brand new from studio engineers, home engineers in that category. The Stealth features a world first. It has an auto-sensing, phantom-powered Class A mic preamp built in. On many of the microphones that we've taken as inspiration for the Stealth, you needed some kind of external gain booster so that you got a good signal into the mic preamp that you were using. By building the preamp into the Stealth, we've got rid of the need for that. So we have 40 dB of phantom-powered, absolutely clean gain, giving great headroom and a great sound directly into whatever console or audio interface you are using. Another world first for the Stealth is that we have 4 completely discrete voices on here. The way we create voices at Aston Mics is that we don't actually do it. We have a panel of engineers and producers who actually help us with this job. We send them audio files of microphone designs we're thinking of, with different sources, some with male vocals, female vocals, different things. The listening panel, we call it the Aston 33 panel, come back with their choices for their favorite kind of voices. We have 4 voices on here. So the panel chose their favorite for female vocal, male vocal, guitar, and then we have another voice on there which is kind of a vintage ribbon kind of sound. So V1 on the microphone is the voice that came top in all the listening tests for male vocal. It's kind of the one that's more reminiscent of some of the classic large format dynamic mics that are already there. It has been compared to the SM7B, the RE20, that kind of thing. So it's a very upfront sound with quite a slow transient attack on the top, but it's very in your face, very strong sound. Great for lead male vocals, metal vocals, anything like that. Also great for other things as well, and we encourage people to experiment and use our different voices for whatever they would like. V2 is the voicing that came top in all the listening tests for female vocals. It's very different from V1. We have a lot more air in the sound, quite a lot more high frequencies in there as well. Actually sounds much more like a condenser mic. Actually, it reminds me a lot of our Spirit large diaphragm condenser. It's also used for lots of other things that we've been getting feedback from our clients with. I've had some people saying it's a great kick drum sound, is that. The extra high frequencies and air gives you a great click on a kick drum, as well as a great female vocal sound. G, which is our third voice, stands for guitar. There's a high-pass filter on this voicing, and it's quite a slow transient response as well. So it's kind of like an envelope sound. It doesn't sound great on a voice, but you put any kind of guitar source in front of it, and it's fantastic. Gets rid of all that low-end energy that can muddy up a mix that you would generally EQ out anyway. And it's also the same voice that came top in all the listening tests for both acoustic guitar, fingerpick classical, that kind of thing, and also full-on amplified electric guitar. So shove it in front of a Marshall stack on that G setting, sounds great. Shove it in front of a classical guitarist, it sounds equally great. Fourth voice is D, stands for dark. And as I said, this is a reproduction of kind of a vintage ribbon sound. It's a really warm, slow transient attack, a great, deep, luscious sound. Because the voices on the Stealth are quite distinct from each other, we've put a very clever switch on here, which makes it difficult for an artist to change the voicing, but when the engineer knows how, it's very simple. So it's this bottom ring here. If you put any pressure on the ring and try and move it, it doesn't. The engineer, who knows the trick, puts a lot of flesh on it, very little pressure, and it's a piece of cake to move. It's an important feature because the last thing that we want is for an artist to change the voicing by accident. We want to encourage people to pick this up and use it and interact with the mic, and we know people already are doing, which is great, but we don't want them to be able to accidentally change the voice. A great feature of Stealth is the really tight cardioid pickup pattern that we get. We have extraordinary rear and side rejection of sound coming into the mic, which makes it a great live mic as well as studio mic. We have real separation between channels if required. So you can imagine the scenario where we might have an acoustic guitarist singer who wants to play guitar and sing at the same time in the studio. Using a Stealth on both the guitar and the voice means that we get really discrete channels between the two. And also imagine the scenario where you've got a very loud on-stage environment where you still want discrete channels. Using Stealth, we can get that. Upon designing what is a large format dynamic mic, we had to solve the problem of how do we attach this to a mic stand. We want people to be able to pick up the mic and interact with it. So we didn't really want to make any big arrangement with a shock mount or anything like that. We wanted to make it a simple thing to attach to a mic stand. Because we didn't want people to have to use a shock mount, we've actually internally shock mounted this using Sorbothane balls internally, which Sorbothane is a fantastic polymer which is known for its acoustic properties. So it cuts out all that handling noise that you might associate with a mic like this. And then we didn't want to put a big clamp on it because it would look ugly, we didn't like it. So we came up with this, which we call our Swift Clip, which is a unique design and it's the simplest thing in the world. Just pops in the bottom of the mic and it's there. Hang this around, move it about, it's not going to come off the clip until you want it to. Yeah, just a great solution. In summary, we like to think of the Aston Stealth as the world's most versatile mic. The difference in sounds of the different voices, the fact that we've got a phantom-powered preamp on there, giving you all that gain and headroom, the fact that we've got the really tight pickup pattern, giving that great rear and side rejection, means that the Stealth has got so many uses. We're finding out new ways that the mic is being used every day from our clients who've already had it. So V2, the female vocal sound, a great kick drum mic. We've got people using the guitar sound on hi-hats because they love the fact that it gets rid of some of the bottom end that would be coming from the kick drum. Obviously, as a vocal mic, it's already been proven. We have a lot of engineers, both professional ones and guys in their home studios, who are already coming back to us and telling us how great they're finding the different voices. Dark is being used all sorts of ways. I say podcasting, radio, broadcast, there's many uses for the dark sound, or as a creative sound when you're putting it in front of percussion or anything like that as well. Really, the Stealth can be used in any environment, and we've designed it to be that way. So that's a little bit about the Aston Stealth. Thank you so much for watching. Please go out and grab one of these and let us know at Aston how you're getting on with it and the different uses that you're putting it to. For any more information on the Stealth or any other Aston product, head over to the Gear4music website.